Good afternoon, everyone. We'll just start. Let's just wait for 2 minutes so that everyone can join in.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Sir, could you please upload yesterday's class notes?
Okay,
Because
last
it's
class notes, right?
yes, sir.
Okay, okay. I'll upload today's and yesterday's as well. Generally, at the
Okay,
end
sir.
of the week, I'll upload like the number of classes we'll be having. All together, I'll upload the lecture notes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So after today's
Thank you.
class, I'll definitely upload. Even the
Okay, sir.
class
Thank
recording
you.
also, I'll share.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. So we will start with the class. And in the last class, we talked about charging and discharging of capacitors. So thereby we have gone through not too many questions, just few of them we went. So today we will just go through some previous year questions and some modular questions were remaining in charging discharging. So we'll quickly try to cover them up and then we will move to the next unit. All right. So we will directly start with the question. But before that, let me quickly recapitulate. In case of charging of capacitor, the charge on the plates of the capacitor was Q naught 1 minus e to power minus t by RC. And when we talked about charging of capacitor, the circuit was RC circuit. That means there was resistance involved in RC circuit. So can anyone tell me that is the charging of capacitor possible for any circuit not involving any resistance? Or if not, then why? Charging is not possible without any resistance in the circuit. Reason is if the resistance is not zero, it is not present, that means it will be zero, meaning that just substitute R as zero here, then this factor will be undefined. That means the time constant will be zero if the circuit does not have any resistance. So it is important for a circuit to contain resistor so that there is charging as well as in discharging. we required the equation Q equals to Q naught e to power minus T by RC. So based on this, we will just go through few more questions. So first we will try to go through previous year questions on mains and NEET together. Okay. Yes, Abhijam. Why you are saying that charging of capacitor is possible, but it will take very less time to happen? Reason is that there is very less resistance even available, which is offered really by the wires as well. I am talking about absolute zero resistance, right? Not even the resistor of the wire. So this factor itself will not be defined, right? So for any circuit involving charging or discharging, you must or we must have resistor in combination to the capacitor, right? Okay, so let's move to the question. Okay, so quickly everyone will try out this one. Just a simple question based on capacitance, and then we'll move to the charging and discharging case. Okay, most of you have got option A. That's right one, because this is very simple. You will just use Gauss law to relate with the electric field, and from that we will get the expression electric field is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Okay, that is very simple. So moving ahead to the questions from the charging and discharging of capacitors. So everyone are present now almost. So let's go through this question and quickly we'll try to do them. A resistor of resistance 10 mega ohm connected in series with a capacitor of capacitance 1 microfarad and this battery of EMF 12 volt. So before the switch is closed at t equal to 0, capacitor is completely uncharged. So you have to find the time constant, fraction of the final charge at t equal to 46 seconds, and the fraction of initial current remaining at t equal to 46 seconds. So yes, I have got the answer for part 1. It's right, Abhiram. It is 10 seconds. So that is very simple. Time constant, what it is? R multiplied by C. So what is resistance? 10 mega ohm. So 10 into 10 to power 6 ohm. And capacitance is 1 microfarad. That is 10 to power minus 6 farad. So this result will be in seconds because we are finding time constant, and we saw in the last class that this has dimension equal to t. Okay, so this gets cut. We have 10 seconds. Next one, number 2. Fraction of the final charge on plates of the capacitor. So first, using this equation, we can find out Q equals to Q naught 1 minus e to power minus t by RC. Using this, we can find out the charge on the capacitor, provided that if I supply t as 46, I will find charge at capacitor, charge of capacitor at 46 seconds. Fraction means we are talking about the charge per unit, the maximum charge. This is the fraction of charge that is stored. So you just need to take this here. You just need to determine 1 minus e to power minus t by RC. Right? Yes, correct, everyone. The fraction is 0.99 or 99 by 100. You will just substitute here. You will get 1 minus e to power minus t, that is minus 46 by 10. So minus 4.6. And you can use this expression. If you consider log 0.01 as minus 4.6, so e to power minus 4.6 will be 0.01. So that will be 1 minus 0.01, and that will be 0.99. Okay, or you can write it as 99 by 100. Okay, that is correct. Number 3, we will move. Yes, Abhiram, if you differentiate the equation of this charge contained on the plates of the capacitor, you will get the current. So definitely that is the current flowing in the circuit, because due to the current flowing in the circuit, that charge will be deposited on the plates. Okay, so number 3, you have to find the fraction of the initial current remaining. So that means Q is equal to Q naught 1 minus e to power minus t by RC. So here we will just take this Q naught to the left. You get 1 minus e to power minus t by RC. Now we will differentiate both sides with respect to t. So what we will get, I by I naught is equal to 1 differentiation 0. If I differentiate the second term, we will get 1 by RC into e to power minus t by RC. So 0.01. Everyone will attempt. Most of you are getting 0.01. Check it whether it will be 0.01 or 0.001. It should be 0.001, right? Because you have 1 by RC and this factor we found it is 0.01, right? So 0.01 divided by RC value, that is 10. So 0.001, or you can say 1 by 1000.
Sir,
Yes.
in the module answer is given 0.01.
Sir, the differentiation which you have done is probably wrong. Q naught is constant, sir. It will not be differentiated to I naught.
Q will be, or let us differentiate here, this equation only. We'll get I equal to minus Q naught by minus RC into e to power minus t by RC.
Yes,
Right,
sir. Q naught is right at CV. So
Right. Q naught we need to write it as CV, or okay, yes, here this will not be I by I naught. We can use this differentiation here only. So I will be minus, and that will again produce a negative sign. So just e to power minus t by RC. Right, but can anyone tell me how you are changing this one? Because differentiation is producing us this result.
Charge equals to capacitance into voltage.
Okay, I write that, and then we get V by R.
Then we
which is I,
write
sir? Which is I
Yes,
naught?
that means it is the initial value, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so this 1 by RC factor will be ruled out. Correct, 0.01 seconds. Okay, so you have the answers in the module as well. I have not gone through the modules
Yes, sir.
completely.
Yes,
I can
sir.
just see the questions.
So
Like
it's in the end.
at the end. Okay, I'll just check that. Okay, we'll move to the next question. Okay, yes, let's try out this one.
Sir, this one we have done.
We did this last time. So just I want to know, yeah, if at the instant, if I just close the switch, will the capacitor behave as an open or closed circuit?
Open, sir.
Yes, and at a steady state or at a very long time, this will just behave as a closed one, right?
Open, sir.
At t tending to infinity. At t tending to 0, tell me for these different conditions,
Sir,
how
both
the capacitor will behave.
the time it will be 0.
or no, what will
Open
be 0?
circuit,
The
sorry. Open circuit.
current flowing through this will be 0, right? That means the branch will
Yes.
be not counted. You
Yes,
mean
sir.
that? Okay. We already did this. We will just move to the next one. Okay, let us do this one. So everyone will try out. You have to find the heat dissipated in the wire between 25 to 40 microseconds. 4.7 microjoules, Aryan. Okay. Everyone will tell me the answer. Okay, Pranjal is getting 1.4 microjoules. Let us see who is correct, 4.7 or 1.4. Everyone will get their answer. Then we will.
Just a minute.
Yeah, sure, sure. 0.48 joules you are getting, Abhiram. Let us see what equation we will apply here. So 5 microfarad capacitor having a charge of 20 microcoulomb is discharged through a wire. So we are talking about discharging. Equation of, so Pranjal, you took the equation of charging while solving first the time.
Yes, sir. That time I got answer 1.4.
Right, but now how much you got?
4.7.
4.7. Let us check, let us calculate. Okay, so definitely we have to use discharging equation. Q equals to Q naught e to power minus T by RC. Meanwhile, you all can check the answer at the back from where you have seen the answers. Okay, so let's calculate Q equals to Q naught e to power minus T by RC. And we are talking about the heat dissipated in the wire between this seconds. So yes, for heat dissipated, definitely we have the equation I square RT, right? But this is only when the current is constant, right? So small amount of heat that will be distributed or that will be dissipated here, that will be I square RT dt, right? In T I'll make short, so R dt, correct? So now for I, what equation we will put? I naught e to power minus T by RC, right? We will just put the value of I as I naught e to power minus T by RC. We'll again differentiate and get this result. So we will square it. We get dH is equal to I naught square e to power minus 2T by RC into dt. And R is also present here. Okay, so this integration needs to be made from 25 to 50 microseconds. So 25 to 50. So if we integrate, what we get here, I naught square will be out, and then integration e to power minus 2T by RC, and R is also out. So this integration I'll write directly I naught square R e to power minus 2T by RC and divided by minus 2 by RC. And this will be from 25 to 50. So how we will get the value of I naught? Very simple, V by R. Anyone has any doubt, they can ask me. I'm going through quite direct. So V is how much? We'll just use the value. So how we will get I naught?
It will be equal to Q by C, so it will be equal to 4 volts.
Right,
So
because
I
here,
naught equal to V by R. So 4 by 5 will.
right, so here I naught will be 4 by 5. So we can take 0.8. So I'll directly put in the calculator and check the result by putting here R value we already have, R into C, 5 ohm, and capacitance 5 microfarad. So I'll just put and check the result. Rest all you can carry out the calculation from here. So we get 4.66 or 667. So 4.67 or 4.7, right? Whoever got this 4.7 microjoules, they are correct. Also, this side integration will result complete heat, which will be lost. This problem is clear to everyone. Okay. The last question based on the heat once again. Okay, let's do this one. So quickly do them. This is quite simple question. Yes, you can take E as 2.7. Number 1, power delivered by the battery. So what all things we have, let me just write down that. We have resistance as 2 ohm, capacitance as 10 microfarad, and EMF of 5 volt. So we have to talk about after 20 seconds, 20 microseconds. So first we will find the power delivered by the battery. So it is saying it is connected to a resistance through a battery. That means the equation should be the charging case. So I will be I naught e to power minus t by, let's find the value of R and C. We'll directly write it. So 2 into 20 into 10 to power minus 6. That will be the value of tau. So we will write that tau. Okay. And then Q will be Q naught, the maximum charge, times 1 minus e to power minus t by tau. So here I naught will be V by R. That means 5 volt by the resistance. So that will be 5 by 2, and e to the power minus t. What is the time we are talking about? 20 microseconds. So 20 times 10 to power minus 6. And the time constant will be 40 times 10 to power minus 6. Right? So it will just be e to the power minus 1 by e to the power minus 1, right? Because this capacitance is 10 microfarad. So 10 into 10 to power minus 6. So we will get I value as 5 by 2, 1 by E. So you can use the value of E as 2.7 approximately. To find out power, what we require? I square. Will I take I square R? Can I use this? We cannot use this because the circuit is not only involving the resistance, it is also involving capacitance, and every component we know that offers some resistance. So it will become clear when we talk about AC that how to find power or heat based on this equation, whereby this R will be the total resistance of the circuit. But as of now, we can definitely find out the power using V into I. So that will be 5 into, the voltage is 5, and the current we just now found as 5 by 2E. So putting this value, we get the result, and approximately we are getting 25 by 5.4, 4.7 approximately. Yes. So if you calculate very precisely, we'll get 250 by 24, that will be 4.6296, right? So it will be approximately 4.6 watt. So everyone who got 4.6, they are right. And power dissipated as heat. Power dissipated as heat. So across which component heat will be dissipated? Very simple, across the resistor heat will be dissipated, because here we don't have anything mentioned about the resistance offered by the capacitor. In AC chapter we will even see that we have some resistance which is offered by capacitor, but depending on question we will see whether it is mentioned or not. So here we only have the resistance mentioned of the resistor, so that will be I square R for number 2. So if we calculate how much we get, I square is 25 by 4 E square, resistance is 2. So we get 25 by 2 E square. So that will be, I'll just compute directly and let's check the result. 25 by 5.4. So we get
Sir, it is E square, no? So
E square, right?
2.7
So
square.
5.4, again we will divide by 2.7. So approximately 1.7. And the unit will be here
Watt.
watt, right? Because we are talking about power dissipated as heat. We have not taken into consideration the time, so it will be watt only. And number 3, rate of energy stored in the capacitor. So we know energy stored is Q square by 2C. Here I'll not be using half CV square because we have to in that case find out the value of voltage across C.
Sir, we can directly use 4.6 minus 1.7 as it will be the same, sir, because
Yes,
power
we can
delivered
do
by the
that as
battery.
well. Yes, we can do that as well. We have to find out voltage in that case. But here we directly have Q and C. We can use this as well. So if we want to find out the rate, we
No,
will
sir,
just
not that. 4.6 minus 1.7. We'll get the answer.
4.6 minus 1.7. Okay, you are talking about 1 and 2. This one,
Yes, sir.
rate of energy stored
So
in the
power delivered
capacitor.
by the battery will be the power
Right.
dissipated plus the rate
Yes,
of
yes.
energy
So
stored.
what will be stored and what will be dissipated? You can get that way also. And this way also you can do. You can differentiate this energy, rate of energy that will be stored. So you will get the answer in this case as well. So if we do not have these two questions, then definitely if directly this is asked, we have to follow this differential method. Else we can just subtract and get the answer. Okay, clear to everyone this one as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's move to the next question. So meanwhile, guys, you will keep checking the answer from the back. I'll just check for the answers later on. I didn't knew it was there. Okay, another question we will do. Everyone will attempt this. Quickly we'll do. Okay, I'll enlarge this quite more. Is it fine? Okay, yes, you can do now. Capacitor charged to 50 volt is discharged by connecting the two plates. Capacitor charged to 50 volt, that means it is charged such that the voltage at its ends are 50 volts. Yes, Abhiram.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So definitely here the talking is about discharging. So we have Q equals to Q naught e to power minus t by tau. The potential difference across the plate is now found to be 1 volt. That means earlier it was 50 volt and now it is found to be 1 volt. That means after discharging in 10 milliseconds, time taken for this process is 10 milliseconds. We have to find potential difference at t equal to 20 milliseconds. That means from 50 volt in 20 millisecond, what will be the potential difference? 0.02 volt, Pranjal. Okay, we will check. So here the talking is not between the charge stored on the capacitor, but it is between the voltage that is observed across the ends of the capacitor. So what we will do, we will just write this equation in terms of the voltage across the capacitors. So we know Q is equal to CV. So Q is directly proportional to V. So we can write V equals to V naught e to power minus t by tau, right? Or you can divide both sides by same C and you can get this expression. And in this expression, we will apply the two conditions. So applying the first condition, what we observe, that final voltage is 1. So we put V as 1. Initially it was 50, okay. E to power minus, time was 10 millisecond in this first process. Yes, capacitance will always remain constant. You must have seen that for parallel plate capacitor, capacitance is epsilon naught A by D. It only depends upon what is inside and how the structure of the capacitance is. It doesn't depend upon V or charge deposited on it. Okay, divided by, this was 10 milliseconds, so 10 to power minus 3 divided by the time constant. Let us keep it as it is because we do not have the value for that. Or let us keep the time in milliseconds as well because that will be cut from both the equations. That's one equation. Second equation, let us say the final voltage is V. Initial it will be 50 volt. E to power minus time is again 20 millisecond divided by the time constant. So we need to figure out V. So we will just divide equation 1 by 2. So we'll get V by 1 equals 50 by 50 will be cut. E to the power minus 20 by tau divided by e to the power minus 10 by tau. So this will give us the value of V as e to the power minus 20 by tau divided by e to the power minus 10 by tau. So how we will figure out the value of tau here? We can again use first equation and convert this in terms of log. Let us use this and convert in terms of log. So we get 1 by 50 is equal to e to power minus 10 by tau. So that is 50 raised to minus 1. So here we will get ln 50 is equal to 10 by tau. So that will give us the value of the time constant as 10 by ln 50. So we will put this here and we should be able to get the result. Everyone followed this approach?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sir, actually it is 10 milliseconds, so 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 would be there.
Which one? Where? Okay, yes. Why I am just writing in terms of millisecond? I am not writing in terms of seconds, because you will see that milliseconds will be ruled out. I'll show a simpler way of calculating this. Let me take these two equations and let's try to simplify. So these were the two equations. Directly we can say V was also 50 e to power minus 20 by tau. I am keeping in mind that this time is in milliseconds. So if you observe here, this can be written as 50 into e to power minus 10 by tau raised to 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Because m to the power n, it will be only minus 20 by tau. Now we have the value of this one, that is computed from equation 1 as 1 by 50. So that is 50 into 1 by 50 whole square. So 1 by 50, and that we get as 0.02, right, voltage. Yes, those who got 0.02, they are correct. I hope it is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so we actually complete this charging and discharging of capacitors. So after this in the module, I can see, because once I start with the new chapter, I will be already aware of like how to go through and what all things we have to cover in each session. Since I just jumped in between this chapter, can anyone tell what is remaining in capacitor, or everything is clear, everything is done in this?
Sir, in capacitors, everything is finished. In current electricity, module discussion was left.
Okay, module discussion, we'll just go through that. So today at least we have to finish up the pending works. So in current electricity, which modules were remaining?
Sir, the homework part of 17.4 and RC circuit homework.
No, 0.3 homework part was also left, right?
Can anyone tell me the page number? I'll definitely go through the module.
Sir,
Yes, a 0.3 is also left.
Yeah, page number of this module.
83.
83. All right. I'll just look into it. What is this 0.3, 0.4? Because different materials have different markings. Okay, 83. In 83, homework questions are remaining, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We have solved the questions. We only have some doubts in.
Yes. So we will go through the doubts, because definitely there are too much questions. So from which question we shall start? Before that, I just want to know from you, before I start with the module discussion of electricity. So in electricity, how you solve any circuital problems? You apply Kirchhoff's rule, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I
Yes, sir.
want to know, yeah, I want to know how you apply Kirchhoff's rule. Like, have you ever gone through this potential marking method?
Yes, sir. Nodal rule.
Yes, yes, that only.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, right. Okay, then that's great. So let us go through the doubts. Tell me from which question we should start. First, page 83. One by one, you can tell me the questions. कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है जिसमें डाउट है? You can tell me. We will discuss them.
Sir, on page number 84, I have doubt in question number 12.
Question number 12. Okay, so first we will go through this question. Find the EMF and internal resistance of a single battery, which is equivalent to a combination of 3 batteries as shown. Okay, have you gone through the combination of batteries in series and parallel?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So in series, what happens if two batteries, two cells in fact are connected? So equivalent EMF, that will be E1 plus E2. Equivalent resistance will also be R1 plus R2. Equivalent resistance in series, that will in parallel, that will be very simple, R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So you can apply this method, this formula, to get the equivalent resistance of this combination and equivalent EMF. How do we find out that? Anyone can tell me the formula?
E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 whole divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2.
Right. Whole divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. And that is E equivalent. Yes. So in short, you can remember for E equivalent as E2 R1 plus E1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So let us apply this. Let us find out the EMF. For this, it will be. Okay, meanwhile, students, you can also observe here, this 10 volt is opposite and this 4 volt is opposite. So this formula is only valid when you have this kind of combination. है ना, ये पॉजिटिव है बैटरी, तो ये भी पॉजिटिव है. पॉजिटिव इन टर्म्स ऑफ कनेक्शन, मतलब इधर पॉजिटिव है इधर नेगेटिव है, तो इसका इधर पॉजिटिव इधर नेगेटिव है. देन वी विल बी
ऐसे
एबल टू
टाइम
अप्लाई.
पे साइन चेंज करके नहीं करते हैं क्या?
साइन चेंज कर सकते हो या फिर E1 या E2, जिसको अगर तुम इसको E1 ले रहे हो तो E1 को नेगेटिव कर दो, -10 कर दो.
Sir, or else हम E1 by R1 minus E2 by R2 करते
Yes, yes, exactly that only. Replace E1 with -E1.
Yes,
है
sir.
ना? So let us do that. Let us say मैं 10 वोल्ट को E1 मान रहा हूँ, इसको E2 मान रहा हूँ. So it will be E2 R1, E2 R1, that means 4 into 2 minus E1 R2. So 10 into 2. So that will be, and divided by R1 plus R2. So 4. So we get 8 minus 10. So minus 2 by 4. So minus 1 by 2 वोल्टेज मिला. और जो यहाँ इन दोनों बैटरी को मिलाने के बाद जो इक्विवेलेंट बैटरी मिलेगा, दैट विल बी कंबाइंड लाइक दिस. सो दिस इज 6 वोल्ट, दिस इज 1 ohm, and then we took this as negative. That means it will be connected like this, and the R value you can easily get, it will be 1 ohm.
Sir, I got E equivalent as 3 volts.
Yes, sir. I also got this.
How did you get 3 volts?
-3.
E1 by R1 minus E2 by R2 by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. If we put the
4
value,
into 2
that
is 8.
equation, we get
10 into
Right,
2
right.
is
This is 20, right, right. So 8 minus 20 will be minus 12. So minus 3, correct. So that means this one is minus 3. So 3 volt is connected like this. So now equivalent EMF, you can easily find out this is in series. So it should be 3 and 2. So you can check the answer quickly.
Yes, sir. It's 3 volts and
3
2
and 2.
ohms.
Right, right. Okay, another one next out.
They're on the next page, question number 14.
Question number 14. So this shows a part of the circuit. Okay, Aryan, we'll go with question number 17 as well after this. So this figure shows a part of the circuit. Calculate the power dissipated in 3 ohm resistance. So you have to also find out what is the potential difference VC minus VB. Okay, so potential difference can easily be obtained. Let us assume the potential at this point to be 0. So with respect to this point, potential at this point will be minus 5, right? Because in the direction of current, potential decreases. And
yes,
then,
sir.
yes, and then here it will be minus 5 plus 12. So you will get 7. And then we do not have the current through this. So let us first find out the current through this. 2 amps is going through this branch. 6 amps is going through this branch. So total 8 ampere should be going through this, right? So now 7 minus 8 into 2, that is 7 minus 16. So minus 9. And then minus 9 minus 3. So minus 12. And then minus 12 minus 8 minus 20. So potential difference will be 20 volt. Let's go through the calculation once again. Everyone understood? Check with the calculation once again. Are you getting VC minus VB as 20 volt?
Yes, sir. So can you explain once again?
Yes, yes, sure, sure. So what we have applied here, that if there is a component and the current is I, then if the potential here is V1, with respect to this potential here, it will be decreased by I into R. So if we encounter a battery after this, let us say the battery is connected like this. That means we are jumping from negative to the positive potential. So I will add here V1 minus IR plus E1. I'll add. If it is connected in opposite orientation, then I'll just subtract this E1. So this should be clear to you. We'll just apply this one here. So to apply this, to find out potential at each point, I at least need current flowing through that branch. So here we have the current which is flowing, but we do not have the current which is flowing through this branch. So we will just find out that. So observing this node, we feel that 2 ampere is going in this direction and 6 ampere is going in this direction. That means total current that would be coming here according to Kirchhoff's first law would be 8 amperes, right? This is the first thing. Now we will just apply this potential marking method. So here we just assumed the potential to be 0 volt. So with respect to this potential, potential at this point will be, can you tell me what will be the potential here?
5, sir.
Will it be 5 or will it be minus 5?
The minus 5.
minus 5, because in the direction of current, potential decreases. So minus 5 volt. Here we are going from negative to the positive terminal of the battery, you can see. So I should add 12. And then I am going in the direction of current. So again, the potential will decrease. So minus I into R. So minus 16. Yes, again, it will decrease. I am going now in opposite direction from plus to the minus side of the battery. So it will be minus 3. And then again, it will decrease because I am going in the direction of current. So let us calculate this. So minus 20 we get. That means at B, we got potential as minus 20 with respect to C. So we want the potential difference VC minus VB. So that will be 0 potential at C minus VB, that is minus 20. So that will be plus 20.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, can you tell me how will you find the power dissipated in 3 ohm resistance? Better than applying V into I or V square by R, we should think of I square R, because it is easy to find out the current flowing through this resistor
The
by
current
applying.
will be 8 minus 5, 3 ampere current will flow.
And in which direction 3 ampere will be moving, down or up?
Sir,
Downwards, sir.
Check
up
it
will
again.
be going up, no? Because 5 is coming from here
Yes,
and it is going there,
exactly.
so it will be going
It
up.
will go in the upward direction.
Yes,
3
sir.
amperes. Then only 3 and 5 will combine to make it 8. So okay, now answer will be simple. I square R. So we get 27 watt. Okay. Okay, next doubt. Question number 17 for Aryan. Current in each branch of the circuit we have to find out. I'll enlarge this more. So to find out current, what we require? Potential difference and resistance, right? If we are able to find out them, we will directly calculate current. So R is already given for each resistor in different arms. We just need to figure out potential difference. So you can start at any point and take relative potential as 0. So let's say we begin with this point, any point you can begin. Let's say I begin with this point, 0 potential here. This also will be 0. Potential at this point will be 21. And then we have to also consider the currents. So let us say current in this is I1. So now potential at this point will be 21 minus 5I1, right? I could have applied Kirchhoff's voltage law, but that will be quite more complex, and we don't expect this kind of question in boards. But for competitives, we will follow up this nodal analysis only. So okay, now we can also figure out the potential at this point. Can anyone tell me what will be the potential at this point? I have given that
21 minus 5 I1.
that is at this point. At this point we want.
So
We will try to keep the number of variables as less as possible. So if I1 is going in this direction, if we have taken in this direction, so I1 will also be in this direction. So now we are going opposite to the direction of current. So it will be 0 plus 1 I1. So it will be just 1 I1 here, right? I have followed the reverse process. So you can also get the current flowing through this arm now, keeping the number of variables short. So if you observe here, it is 21 minus 5 I1, and this is just I1. So potential difference will be 21 minus 5I1 minus I1 by R. So this will be the current through this. Instead of taking it as I2, I will directly write it as 21 minus 6I1 by 6. So that will be 7 minus I1, 7 by 2 minus I1, and we got the current. So what direction we got the current? We considered this as high potential, and current flows from high potential to low potential. So is it understood to everyone? Else I'll go in little detail, because I am assuming you all have gone through nodal analysis.
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay. Now we got the potential at this point. I'll just move. This is also I1. This one is I1 minus 2. Okay. Now we at least require the current in one of the loops. Yes, Sanya, where is the doubt you have? I think now it is visible to everyone, and let us carry out the process once again. So we have to find out current across different arms. So one way is that you can take I1, I2, I3 for 3 different loops and apply KVL equations. Now to remove the complexity, to do it quickly, we will apply potential marking method. So randomly I take 0 volt anywhere. So I'll take, let us say here 0 volt. So this also will be 0. Now this will be 21. Wherever anyone will have any doubt, they will ask me at that same point, so that we don't need to repeat the question. Okay. Now only till this point we can find. So what we observed, we required at least one parameter, one current at least we require. So let us say I took this direction of current, and that is I1, right? Because with respect to current and resistance only, I can multiply and find out this potential. So this potential will be 21 minus 5I1. Till here, to everyone it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, with respect to this point, I will be finding out the potential at this point. So there is no way to find out. There is a way. I can take I2 and I can find the current. I can find the potential, but that will involve the introduction of one more variable, which we don't want. So what we will do instead, I1 is flowing like this. So here it will be coming like this. So that means with respect to this point, this potential will be higher. So it will be 0 plus I into R. So 1 into I1. So it will be I1, the potential at this point. Now, if we have the potential at this point and this point, we can figure out the current. So considering randomly this as the high potential, current will be this potential minus this potential, that will be potential difference. So 21 minus 5I1 minus I1 divided by R. So that will be 7 by 2 minus I1. So that will be the current flowing through this. 7 by 2 minus I1. Yes, Rohit, you can of course use Kirchhoff's law. So I'm just following this to reduce the complexity. Okay, now this is I1, this potential will be I1, and this potential will be I1 minus 2. Now we can see again, we cannot progress because at least one more variables we need. So let us take the variable here as I2. So I2 will be flowing in this direction, and with respect to this, potential at this will be increased because we are going opposite to the direction of current. So I1 minus 2 plus 16 I2. So same will be the potential at this point, I1 minus 2 plus 16 I2, and the potential at this point will be plus 5. So I1 minus 2 plus 16 I2 plus 5, and now we can observe we have got the potential at all the points. Is this understood till here, how we got the potential at all the points?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you just need to frame two equations so that we can find out I1 and I2. So you can follow any loops. Let us say I follow this loop. So if I follow this loop, we can easily find out the potential. So let us say I start randomly at this point. So this potential, with respect to this potential, I have already got this potential, okay? With respect to this, what will be the potential here? You need to figure out current, and it's easy to find current. You can see current will be potential difference by resistance. So this potential minus this potential by R. So it will be I1 minus 2 plus 16 I2 plus 5 minus 21 minus 5 I1 by 2. So let us calculate how much we get. 5 I1, it is 6 I1 plus 16 I2. This is 3 and this is minus 80 by 2. So you get 3 I1 plus 8 I2 minus 9. That is the current. 3 I1 plus 8 I2 minus 9. Got this current? So now I don't need to even go for the complete loop. I have analyzed the current flowing through different resistors. I can find out the current. Only thing is that I'll have to just look upon any of the node. So if you observe this node, you have the current, you have this current, and you have this current. So I can say this current plus this current will be this current. So if you just use this, you will get one equation. Similarly, you can observe at any other nodal point. You have to find out current at this, current flowing through this 8 ohm. And once you find that, you can find out, again apply the nodal junction. So in this direction, I2 is already flowing. Here, when we will find out current using this potential difference and this resistance, we have found the current flowing through this. So we will just apply Kirchhoff's current law here. So we will have only two equations. So that's the benefit of using this method. Earlier method also you could have used. You could have taken I1, I2, I3 flowing through three batteries, and you would have got three equations. You would have solved that and got I1, I2, I3, and that would be the result. Using that, we would have computed current flowing through each resistors. This is understood to everyone, or you want me to find out the complete answer as well?
No, sir, not required.
Okay, so try it out. If you, in case you find more complexity while solving, then let me know. Any other doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, then for this question, I'll tell you one more thing to do. Just try that out. So I'll assume that this is a battery and this is the internal resistance. Although this is very much false because internal resistance cannot be this much great for this 2 volt, but still we will assume because we have the formula. I'll consider this as E1, this as R1, and I'll consider here also a battery of EMF 0 and resistance 8 ohm. So my question is, can I combine this and make this into a cell and a resistor? Is it possible to do?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So then that will even reduce this circuit. So now our circuit will be just comprising of this much part. So in that case, you can find out some results, and then using that you will get the current flowing through these, and this, which is same in the structure. Now again, you will open this. But I feel this would be quite complicated. You can just follow on that Kirchhoff's current law. This is just to try. Okay. Yeah. Any doubt you can ask me now. For electricity, then I should assume the modular discussion is over.
Sir, point 4 discussion.
Point four, point five. It's left.
Okay. Electrical devices.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
This also we
Perfect.
have point 4 and point 5. So, okay, let us move with point 4 quickly. We still have time left.
For in-class exercise is discussed. Homework is not yet discussed.
Okay, we'll discuss the homework. What doubt you all have in the homeworks?
Sir, it's not yet fully solved.
Okay, that means you are all yet to solve them. So do
Yes.
solve them and then we will go with these discussions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, meanwhile, I'll tell you, because in electricity, we have a number of shortcuts to use. So you have to find the total resistance of a random circuit that we have, because definitely new chapter will be starting in new class. I'll just draw the circuit that will come in my mind randomly. Okay, across this A and B, what will be the resistance, provided that each resistor is having resistance R ohm?
So 2R/3.
2R by 3. Shortly, can you explain?
Sir, the middle one, it is in the same potential, so no current will be flowing
Stone
through. Yes, sir. Wheatstone bridge.
That means this one you want to remove.
No, sir. The full perpendicular one. No current will be
Yeah,
flowing.
this one, right? You want to remove
Yes, sir.
them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically there is, yes, that's correct. In terms of Wheatstone, you can analyze, or in terms of normal also we can analyze. At this point, some current is coming. So that current I1, let us say I2, let us say I3. So at this point also what should happen? Same current should combine. So that means it's just like I2 is not affected at this point, because same current should be present and then only it will combine and same current will flow through A. So you can just remove them, and once it is removed, there is no point of these resistors. Okay, another one, let us say so. Yes, in this we have to find the total resistance across A and B.
Sir, it's R.
R. So this will be A, this will be A, this will be B, and this will be C, right? This will be C, this will be D, let us say, and this will be B, this will be D. Either this way you can follow, so you get only 4 points A, B, C, D, or you can use the drop in potential concept, because across a resistor, the drop potential will be same. So Aryan, you are saying R by 3. Let us check. So between A and D, we have one resistor combined. Between again A and C, one resistance. Between C and D, one resistance. Between B and C, one resistance. Between again B and C, one resistance. So between this, so this is Wheatstone. So 2R, 2R, that is R. Yes, correct. Yes, Aryan. That now it's correct. R ohm. So talking about this module 4, here point 4, in class exercises, all discussion have been done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Then in the next class, we will start with moving charges and magnetism, the next chapter. And at the end, again, we will have 10 minutes for this modular discussion. So
Sir,
yeah,
in this chapter's module, test practice problems discussion is also there. Page number
At the
97.
end, sir.
Some extra problems are there.
right.
Page 97.
Okay, test practice. So test practice problems you do in the class, or you first attempt and then
No,
we
sir,
do.
we do
We
it.
attempt and
We
only
solve, then we ask the doubt.
Okay, so at this point of time, whatever should have been completed from our end, is it done? So now only it is left for your practice, right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
And discussion of
Okay, yeah, of
problem
course.
solving.
Discussion will be after you attempt.
Yeah.
So by next class, should I assume that you all will complete whatever is pending?
Sir, by next class, means by tomorrow, point 4 can be completed. Sir, TPP's bit time would be required.
Right, and you have a number of questions here also in test practice problems.
By Monday, it will be completed TPP's. Test
Okay, all
practice
right,
problem.
all right. So all right, if you complete by Monday, then after your completion, we will discuss them. So we will make a program like this, that in the first 15-20 minutes, we just discuss the previous whatever is pending as of now for modules, and then we will start with the next unit. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, then see you in the next class. Anyone, if you have any doubt, because definitely in the last minute we cannot start anything. Any doubt, if you have, still you can ask me. No doubt. Okay, all right, then everyone, bye bye. Complete all the questions. Let me know in case of any doubts. Even if you want to clear the doubts through WhatsApp or anything, feel free to call me or message me anytime. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All
Okay,
right.
sir.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you, sir.
Yes, sir.